Collard greens and cornbread. What are collard greens? Collard greens, a non-heading form of Brassica oliscea, have been eaten since antiquity and were widely used throughout medieval Europe, especially in the Mediterranean. Medieval writers often refer to them under names such as colewort, wort, collis, or cobble. Although medieval sources rarely distinguish collards from kale or cabbage, the cole or colewort described fits the botanical identity of collards, an open-headed leafy breccia. Collard greens in medieval Europe. Tacinium satis, 13th-14th century, a widely copied medieval health handbook, originally Arabic, later in Latin, includes illustrated plates of collards with text. Collards are hot and dry. They cleanse the stomach and purge melancholy. Collards are shown as loose leaf greens, not heading cabbages. In the regimen Sentitus Salitaneum, 12th-13th century, this medieval health poem references collards. Collards sharpen the mind and renew the humors. Even boiled twice, they are gentle. When boiled twice, they are gentler. Double-boiled greens were believed to be more digestible. In Hilligard of Begnin, 1098-1179 Physica, Hilligard describes wort or colwort, a clear reference to leafy brassicas. Colwort is warm and moderate. It is good cooked, and when eaten, it cleanses the stomach. She also warns that raw colwort causes gas, echoing broader medieval dietary advice. Collard greens in medieval Europe. In medieval English cook's vocabulary, 14th-15th century, the medieval English word colwort appears frequently in household accounts and cookeries. For example, the household ordinances of King Edward II, 1318, list for the kitchen colworts, pences, and beans. In the form of curry, 1390, the Royal English Cookbook includes a recipe: take the coleworts and grind them small, boil them in good broth. This is likely an early braised greens dish. In Pietro de Crescenzi, Rolia Comada, 1304, an agricultural encyclopedia describing cole leaf. The loose-leaf cole is hardy and thrives in winter. Its leaves are taken continually for the plot. This matches collards exactly, non-heading greens picked leaf by leaf. Collard greens in medieval Europe. Preparation methods: boiled in broth, fried with lard, oil, or fat, cooked into pottages, soups, or stews, served with bacon or salted meat, medicinally used to cleanse stomach and humors. Who ate them? Extremely common among peasants due to ease of cultivation, also present in monastic gardens, valued by physicians for medicinal properties, grown throughout England, France, Italy, Spain, and Islamic Mediterranean. Why so widespread? Collards thrive in cold weather and poor soil, making them a staple in winter months before root vegetables and grains were harvested. Although the specific word collard is post-medieval, the plant was widely known and eaten throughout the Middle Ages under names like colewort, collis, and wort. Medieval texts consistently describe a loose-leaf brassica, botanically identical to modern collards, and provide evidence of its everyday culinary and medicinal uses. Cooking greens in early America. Alvar Nunes Cabeza de Vaca, La Relación, 1542. Cabeza de Vaca describes indigenous foods prepared by boiling. They ate herbs which they cook and roots and other things from the earth. In The Gentleman of Elvas Relaco Veredia in 1544, Florida, Georgia, Alabama, and Mississippi, describing village foods, They eat many herbs and greens, which they boil with water and maize. In Rodrigo Rangel, Diary of the De Soto Expedition in 1540 to 1543, the southeastern interior, Rangel records foods found in towns. They found pots with cooked greens and maize. Cooking greens in early America. In Luis Hernandez de Bedima, Relacion 1544, the southeastern chiefdoms, Bedima describes daily diet of they eat herbs and leaves of the land cooked. In Jacques Lemoine René de Londier, Florida accounts in 1560s, the Temucua Lamone depicts and Laudonniere describes they boil herbs and leaves in earthen pots for their meals. American Indian origins of cornbread. A thick, unleavened corn flatbread was a staple diet of the eastern woodland Indians. Frequently, this bread was cooked in the embers of a fire. The bread soon became a mainstay in the diet of the New England and Southern colonists who called it corn pone. The Iroquois made cornbread from hominy flour mixed with boiling water until it formed a stiff paste. The dough was kneaded, shaped into a ball, and then flattened so that it was about an inch and a half thick and about 7 inches in diameter. Each piece was put into a pot of boiling water with a special bread paddle. When the cakes were cooked, they were removed from the water. Eaten hot or cold, they were sometimes covered with corn syrup. Because the Indians and later the colonists took these loaves with them and as they traveled, they were called journey cakes. Eventually the colonists modified them to make what were called Johnny cakes as well. Indians living in the southeast taught colonists to make fried cornbread by dropping spoonfuls of cornmeal dough into hot bear fat to make what becomes known as hush puppies. Corn flour was then mixed with water to make dough, which was cooked in various ways. Apon, Powhatan for bread, borrowed into English as cone, could be ash cake, consisting of dough patted into flat, broad cake and covered with leaves and then hot ashes. A little water to wash off the ashes dried rapidly, and the cake was ready to eat. What's cornbread without corn? Bizcocho. Bizcocho is the name given in the Spanish-speaking world to a wide range of pastries, cakes, or cookies. The exact product to which the word bizcocho is applied varies widely depending on the region and country. The word bizcocho comes from the Latin bis cultus, which means cooked twice. That is why it is often soaked in wine due to low humidity it had. According to other versions, however, the origin of the cake would be the fusion of French and Spanish bakeries, as evidenced by the accounts of the colonial Montevideo by Isidoro de Maria and the genealogical studies of Juan Alejandro Alapont and Ricardo Gold Arencia. From these studies and publications, it appears that the first bakers in Montevideo came from France and Spain, as documented in the immigration records of the first settlers in which their profession is recorded.